right, y'all. I am done. I'm done, okay? I'm done pretending. I'm done performing. I am done chasing this idea of perfection that social media keeps feeding me. I am over it, okay? Let's be real. Most of what we see online is not real. So why am I constantly breaking myself to live up to it? Like, that is the question. If you've ever felt not good enough because of what you have seen on your feed, then this video is for you, okay? It is for you. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique, and today we're going to be talking about the struggle, okay, with being a perfectionist and feel like you have to live up to this perfect life that you've seen on social media, or just period. Like me, I've struggled for years with being a perfectionist in every area of my life. I've definitely struggled with comparing myself to influencers, creators, and just like I said, different people, because I've just struggled with being a perfectionist in general. And it is so exhausting. And the crazy thing is, when it comes to online, wondering why, I've definitely had moments where I wonder why life for me doesn't look like that. I've had to constantly remind myself that, like, this is a highlighted part of this person's life, right? Like, that's what it is. And today we're going to be breaking down why I'm done with being a perfectionist and you should be done too, and why we really need to free ourselves of this toxic cycle that we are now in society. So let's get into it. Okay, so first thing first, social media isn't real life. It is staged, it is lighting, it is filters, okay? It is a perfectly curated caption. It's designed to make you look at them and go, wow, their life is so perfect, it's so beautiful, it's so pretty. But here's the catch, it's not. It's normal life, right? Behind every perfect post is someone struggling with something, whether that's insecurities, doubts, challenges, whatever it is, someone is struggling. It's a normal person behind that post. Even the influencers who seem to have it all together are probably editing their lives to look this way. And it's facts. Like, you know, like I think about me right now in my room, my bed is made and it's great. I typically do make my bed, but I have a pile of clothes sitting next to me that I have to get ready to fold soon. So, you know, it's just not, you don't get to see that pile of clothes though. You get to see the beautiful background right now. Just so why are we constantly comparing our raw, unfiltered lives to their highlighted lives? Right? Like, this is something that I've constantly asked myself too, because I know it to be true. Like, and I've caught myself and had to snap out of it. Like, and so let's get into that. Now, let's talk about perfectionism. For years, I thought that I had to be a perfectionist. And I thought it was a good thing. Like, I literally, people would say it, and I'm like, oh, I'm just a perfectionist. Like it was me saying I have high standards or something. I don't know. But I thought it was good. But really, it's exhausting. Oh my goodness. It's so exhausting. Perfectionism stops you from starting projects. I know for me it has, because I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid it wouldn't be good enough. It definitely has created some second guessing in myself. And if you're anything like me, you've definitely had an idea and you were fired up about it, and then your perfectionist self came in and went, it's not perfect, it's not good enough. You know, people are going to look at it, people are going to judge, people are going to see every flaw because you see every flaw in it, right? When you're chasing perfect, you'll never feel satisfied. And it took me forever to get there and realize that that was facts. It's a never-ending rat race. And the finish line just keeps moving, especially when it comes to social media. Oh my goodness. Like, what is in today probably won't be in the next 6 months. Like, and so if you're constantly chasing this perfect aesthetic, it has to stop. So what changed for me? I realized that the pressure to be perfect was holding me back from being happy. Like, and I really realized that. I was like, dude, like, even when it comes to me posting on YouTube, for a long time I wanted to post content. It was just had all these, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. And now I'm just like, who cares? Like, sometimes you can hear my kids in the background. It just is what it is. Like, it's not perfect, but I'm real and it's real and it is what it is, right? I was, you know, before I felt like I had to curate my life for people who probably didn't even care as much as I thought they did. Like, you know, like, and that's the thing, like, people don't care as much as you think they do. I was missing out on authentic moments because I was too busy trying to make them perfect, a perfect post-worthy moment, right? And one day I just sat down and I thought to myself, like, why am I doing this? Like, this makes no sense. I'm missing out on the moment. I am not present, and life is too short to not be present in your moments. who am I trying to impress? And that's when I decided I was just done. Like, I am tired. Like, you either like me or you don't. You either like me for who I am or you hate me for who I'm not. And it just is what it is. And I had to live on that and stand on that. So letting go of perfectionism doesn't happen overnight, though, and it didn't happen overnight for me. It was definitely a fight in my head, constantly struggling, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, constantly going back and forth. But here's what helped me. I focus on my progress and not perfection. Like, a lot of these videos, I stutter, I do make mistakes. It is what it is. Like, it's not perfect, but I release them because it just is what it is. It's gonna help who is gonna help, and it's not gonna help who is not supposed to help. And so it is what it is. Remind yourself that done is better than perfect, and because perfect is not achievable. I'm sorry. And limit your screen time. Spend less time strolling. Like, that really helped me getting off social media. Some of those apps I deleted because I was just like, I don't need this. I don't even post on this app. If I'm not posting on this app, there's really no point in me having it. Or I just, like I said, I would unfollow certain influencers who I felt like didn't make me feel good. And it wasn't a hater thing at all. It was just like, hey, you know what? I don't need this. I don't, like this. They make me feel like I'm missing something in life or I'm not enough. And why? Like, why do I don't have to allow myself to feel this way, right? And so I unfollow accounts that trigger me or trigger my comparison moment. Like, I definitely struggled with comparison for a long time. And so I would unfollow accounts. And I would keep accounts that inspired me to be myself. Like, I love when I see influencers who talk about being real or who are just real or who have normal aesthetics or who I can definitely relate to their content or their personality. And it's just, you can tell that it's not them being anything but them. And I love people like that. And I typically now will follow accounts like that. And then I practice a lot of compassion. Like, be kind. I learned to be kind to myself. I learned to treat myself as if I was my best friend, because like, if one of my best friends came over, I would definitely, with some of these thoughts in her mind, I would definitely for sure try to encourage her, uplift her. And then I start to do that to myself. Like, wait a minute, like, I deserve that same type of love. I deserve to love me the same way that I love them. So yeah, so I started to practice self-compassion and treat myself as if I am my best friend. And then I remembered, no one is watching you as closely as you think they are, right? That for me was big for me to realize, like, everyone's not looking for every imperfection. Like, I am my biggest critic. Absolutely. And I always think that if I see my imperfection, then you must too. And that's not always the case. And so I had to really let that go and let that idea go. Most people are too busy worrying about their own lives to notice your imperfections. And it just is what it is. And they do notice it. Guess what? They're human. You're human. You can relate on that. So, and then lastly, of course, I had to take a social media detox. Like, if you have never done a social media detox, and if you know that this is an area where you really struggle in life, like, sometimes the best way to reset is to take a step back. And I had to do that. Like, if social media is making you feel bad about yourself, it's okay to log off for a while. It's okay to disconnect. It's okay to unplug, right? Use that time to reconnect with yourself, right? Remind yourself of your goals and, be around the people that matter the most to you in life. When you come back, it'll still be here. Like, and you'll realize that the world didn't stop and you didn't miss out on anything important. Like, that's what will happen, right? So here's the takeaway. Perfectionism is a trap. Don't fall into it. And social media it's its partner in crime. I promise it is. So if you don't, and you do not have to play along. So anyway, if this content was something that you like, definitely feel free to like it and go ahead and subscribe to my channel.